What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich, back to bring your MLB props for Wednesday, August 3rd. Yesterday, we played Anthony Santander, who went over. Aaron Judge, unfortunately, did not go over. He was completely pitched around all game long by Seattle, so very difficult for him to get anything going when they're not throwing him any strikes. So he went under, unfortunately, but drew 3 walks, so he still did what he was supposed to do per, his obligations to the team and not overextend and not chase for these pitches. He's a great hitter, but unfortunately did not go over for us yesterday. But today we do have some more plays on the docket, so let's dive into the plays right now. We're starting off with Aaron Judge back at the top of the list, DJ LeMahieu, and Adley Rutschman. And then you have JD Martinez and Bryan Reynolds for unders. I did want to clarify one thing. I was asked in the comment section about my plays and why I'm not giving more unders and various things. It's because I have thresholds for all my plays. So when I play an over, I'm looking for 60% or higher for an edge. And then for unders, I'm looking for 40% or lower. And so if you don't see any unders, it's because nobody hit that threshold. And if you don't see any overs, which usually there's at least 1 or 2, that means nobody's hitting those thresholds. And I may move them depending on the day, but usually those are the ones I try to hit. I try to hit around 60% for overs and then 40% for unders. So just a little clarification there. But back to the plays. Judge up against Luis Castillo. I think Luis Castillo will challenge him. I don't think he's going to shy away from Judge at all, where yesterday they were really pitching around him. You see Judge hit over 8.5 in 8 of his last 10 games. You see the 100% edge. It's projected really, really high. I'm not sure how Luis Castillo plans on pitching Judge, but I don't think he's going to be looking to pitch around him. He's a pitcher who's very confident, ace potential. His first start for Seattle coming into the Bronx, so we'll see how he performs. But I'd be willing to play Judge here, even at 8.5. But the better play, in my opinion, is DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu, since play over the past few days, has been really on fire. He's hit this number. He's hit 7 in 9 of his last 10 games, 14.17 points over his last 7 days, and 11.33 over his last 14 days. You see the last 14 days, 1.5 hits, 2.5 total bases, a run per game, half an RBI per game, and 0.4 extra base hits per game. The main reason why he gets so much to hit is because Aaron Judge bats behind him, and then Anthony Rizzo bats behind him. So DJ LeMahieu is always getting pitches to hit, and that's why he's putting the ball in play very often. Great contact hitter, scores a ton of runs, as you can see, batting ahead of Aaron Judge, and Anthony Rizzo will do that for you. And so I love DJ LeMahieu today and would definitely be playing him. I think he's in a great spot, and I'd be willing to play him for sure. Adley Rutschman is a guy who's been playing very well lately. You see 9 points over the last 14 days, 10 points over the last 7 days, and hit in 8 of his last 10 days. Had a great performance again yesterday. So I'd be willing to play him 5.5 against Martin Perez. I don't hate it at all. Rutschman's been really coming on lately, playing really, really well. Not a ton of RBIs, but scoring runs, getting extra base hits, total bases at 2, hits at 1.36. So a lot of things to like here if you're the Baltimore Orioles and you have Adley Rutschman, you want to play him. So I do think he's in a great spot today. And the last guy I think we got to look at are the unders, JD Martinez and Bryan Reynolds. JD Martinez on Sunday had 2 hits, 2 doubles, some RBIs, but really hasn't done anything since. I was a little bit discouraged because he did finally break out of his slump, but he's back in that slump again. His total is at 6.5. You see he's only hitting 2 of his last 10 games, with that one game being a few days ago when he did break out, but he broke back into the slump and went over 4 again yesterday. So I think there's a really good chance that he goes under again today. He's up against Jose Urquidy, and obviously there's been very low scoring games between the Astros and the Boston Red Sox. Yesterday was a 2-1 affair. Really, all the offense was driven by Rafael Devers, and I think that that's going to be the same case today. Devers is back, which does add to JD Martinez's upside, but with how badly he's performing right now, I don't see a world where he necessarily breaks out of this slump that easily. Again, we're talking about range of outcomes here, and I think it's well within the range of outcomes that JD Martinez gets on base under once, and at best, he's looking at an RBI or a run scored. I think it's going to take a lot to go over 6.5. The way he's playing, you see last 7, 3 points, last 14, 2.63. It's really driven off that one game where he had 2 hits. He got a couple bases, scored a run, got a couple RBIs, but outside of that, he hasn't done much of anything. And then Bryan Reynolds has not been playing very, very well, but he is against Freddie Peralta today, which is a plus matchup in my opinion. His total is only 5.5, so I don't think it's a slam dunk, but he has been playing really, really badly since coming back. And so eventually he's going to break out. He's a good hitter, but he's not quite there yet, and I would not necessarily be betting against him completely. I think think JD's the better play. But if you want to bet on Brian Reynolds, I don't hate it at all. I think I'd be rolling with LeMahieu and JD under. You can mix in a Rutschman or a Judge. I still like Judge a lot. It's very difficult for me to fade him. Again, it's just, are they going to pitch to him? And I think Luis Castillo will. And at that point, I think Judge has a really good shot of going over. But I think if I was ranking my plays, it'd be LeMahieu first, then Martinez, then Judge, Rutschman, and then Brian Reynolds would be fifth. And I would probably mix and match the top three based off of that. If you wanted to play DJ and Judge together, you can't do that, but I would do DJ and JD. I do Judge and JD, and then you can do JD, Judge, and LeMahieu all together on one play. And I think that's probably where I would lean. I don't mind Rutschman either. Like I mentioned, he has been really good, so I do like him. And as well, Brian Reynolds under, I think, is definitely in play. But that's kind of what I'm looking at today so far. Great slate, a lot of early games, so make sure you get your picks in early. There's the Jays game and Rays game, which is very, very early. I believe it's a 12:05 start, but no picks from that game. So hopefully you guys get them in. Make sure you make some money today. As always, drop me a like and subscribe for future content. And if you tail, give them hell. And if we fail, do not bail. I'll be back tomorrow with more MLB picks, more MLB bets, and more data-driven process for you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good day today. Make some money, and I'm out. Peace.